You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's Vegas. It's rock. It's dogs. It's Vegas Rock Dog Radio. A rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. Stand by for great guests and cool advice. All in one rockin' hour. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. That's 702-483-4444. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and you are listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, a rock and roll show that's all about pets, people, and pop culture. I am live today from Las Vegas, and today's show is going to be packed with lots of information, and we're going to try and keep within the holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. What else do we need to be celebrating, Mike? I don't know all the holidays.
So many of them.
There's a lot going on,
Yeah.
which is good, because, you know, it's a great time of year. Yeah. People just kind of get to kick back a little bit, enjoy their family and friends, eat lots of food, and hopefully have a little bit of time off as well. So it's a good time of year, no matter what you celebrate. Or even if you don't celebrate and just like the gifts.
Okay.
Many people like that. They're not religious, but they love the whole gifting and the tree and the food.
The food.
The food.
Yeah, the food.
Do you do anything special for Christmas?
Work. Said time off. There's no time off here.
Time off? What is time off?
Time off is not here.
Well, I promised Mike I'm going to make him some English treats.
Oh, that would be great.
For next week, especially since I've finally got a new oven. I was just telling Mike my oven hasn't worked since April. The oven part. It's amazing how creative you can get with a burner. And I don't own a microwave.
Wow, really?
Yeah, people think it's the strangest thing, but I've never had a microwave. And it's okay. I'm not bothered about a microwave. And then when my dishwasher broke, very shortly after I moved into my new house, I never replaced that either, because I never used it. I was just wash the dishes. There's two of us. But Jim liked the dishwasher. I'm like, there's two of us. Just wash the dishes.
Well, you start in the morning, you put your coffee cups and everything else, your breakfast dishes, and if you're there for lunch, then your dinner stuff goes in, one run, you're done.
I know, and I never used it. Yeah. Then it broke. I was like, okay, I'd rather put a wine cooler there instead. That's far more appealing. I mean, it just is, isn't it?
Do that in the humidor room right there. This side, Jim would be happy to have fresh wine and fresh cigars.
Why
great
not?
Meal.
Who needs food?
Yeah. Well, great meal too.
Who needs to wash dishes?
Don't need that in the microwave. You got a burner. Got a new house, no oven. Dishwasher's out of whack.
If I ever get stranded, I'm telling you, I could make a fire and I could cook you anything. And if I was stranded somewhere, because I've learned how to do it over the past 8 months or whatever it is. But I did get a steal of a deal, and I did bake some bread puddings yesterday for friends. But don't worry, you'll get some of my treats.
Okay.
I promise you. Honestly, I promise you.
Okay.
But yeah, I love that time. I just love this time of year. But I'm usually home. I'm usually back home in England. It's very hard when I'm here. I have a really hard time when I'm here. It's, unless it's cold and snowing, to me it's not Christmas. And of course, we're not getting much of that in Vegas. Do you remember a few years ago? I wanted to say it was about 2008. We had this fantastic snowfall that was just so spectacular. I couldn't wait to get out in it.
I wasn't here then. I wasn't living here then. But I remember seeing it on the television.
It was amazing.
The strip was just coming down, and people didn't know what to do.
It was fun. Everybody stopped driving and just left their cars. Yeah. No even attempted to get anywhere. So I just bundled the dogs up. I only had the two at the time. There was no one out. No one. Went to the park. There was no one. We had such a good time in that snow. Yeah. To me, that's Christmas.
My black lab used to love the snow. He loved it. Yeah.
They try and eat it. I love when they try and catch a snowball and it disappears and they go, where'd it go? Where did the snowball go? It landed in the snow there. Where'd it go? I love that.
By the way, not to throw it off the thing, we're going to be looking for a new dog.
Oh, yeah.
But we want a blonde lab or a white lab.
Okay,
So if you know anyone, we want a pup.
I'm going to keep my eyes out for you
So right around we figure January or February time, depending on when the breeds are coming.
Oh, this good. I'm telling. Oh, that's your breed though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You love that breed. I will keep my eyes
a lot of people said, go to the rescues, and I'm all for the rescues and everything.
Hard to see a lab though in rescue. It's but there is a.
There is a lab rescue here.
Yes, there is a lab rescue. I'll keep my eyes out for you.
Our good friend Kaylee Barker handles that.
Really?
Yeah, little race car driver, 16 years old, Kaylee Barker.
You're
helps both with the
kidding.
lab rescue here in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we're looking for a blonde. Yeah, we had a black one for
Yeah.
11 and a half years, so we're not going to go back to a black one, but
You're going to do a little blondie.
I like to have a blondie.
Oh, I think that's great, Mike. And it's a good time of year to get them after the holidays.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to actually mention why people shouldn't get a dog in today's show at this time of year.
So if anybody knows a breeder out there that's going to be having blonde pups
Yeah.
right around the first of the year, January, February,
They're very
Call
hard.
Sam.
You rarely do see them in rescue, And some people just have an affinity for a certain breed,
Yeah.
And it's just, like the dogs on rescue that I work with, Some people just want a breed, and not everybody. A lot of people in rescue. Here's the thing: we prefer people get dogs from rescue, but if you are so stuck on this breed, then you need to find a reputable
Right.
breeder. I mean, it's as simple as that. We just try and discourage people from going to pet shops because we know they come from puppy mills.
Yeah,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not going to deal with
Yeah,
that. No, I would
exactly.
rather go and pick out another dog from a rescue than
Yeah.
go to a mill or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, if honestly, if people even had the guts to look at the pictures and video of puppy mills,
Yeah.
it would kill them, and they would never step foot in a place like that. But you're not going to get many people that look at that. They go, "Oh, I'm just going to go cute puppy," and it's just
No.
it's hard. And this time of year, I mean, that's all they ever want to do.
We
is
got ours
survive.
from a breeder back north from North Carolina.
Did ya?
Yeah, and actually, ours was the last round that he was going to do. The mom and dad had 4 rounds prior, and that was it. He was going to do 4 rounds now.
There's a big campaign in England, and it would work very well here, and it's called "Where's My Mum?" And if you thought you'd gone to a reputable breeder, but you didn't see the mum and you didn't see the dad, guess what? You're probably not at a breeder.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a big campaign. It's done really, really well in England. Where's my mum? If you don't see the mum and dad, guess what? But it's a really good campaign, and they've really managed to reach a lot of people with that. But I'll definitely keep my eyes open for you. Oh,
Yeah. And like I said, anybody knows anybody's going to be having blonde pups right around January, February, somewhere right around in that time after the holiday
How
time.
long ago was it when you lost your last dog?
7 months. It was 7 months Tuesday. We had to put him down.
You just know when you're ready, don't you?
Well, my wife really misses. He was my buddy, but my wife really became really, really close to him.
Yeah.
And she's at the point to where she wants another one. And
Yeah. You just miss that presence.
know.
You just miss that.
And like you said, a lot of people like different style dogs. I mean, ours, we found nothing better than a family dog and a comforting dog than a lab.
That works for you. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the smartest thing as well, is like what works for you as well. Are you that person that just needs a little lap dog because you're not very active, or you know what I mean? You
Right.
have to find what's right for you, But yeah, people certainly have a love for certain breeds, It's funny because a lot of people will say to me, "Oh, I'd come to your dachshund event, but I don't have a dachshund and I don't really support the dachshund." I go, "Well, I don't have one either." I'm just raising money for them.
You're just trying to help them out.
So I'm like, "So what's your excuse? Buy a ticket and come to my event because I don't have one either."
I really don't care for cherry pie, but today I'm going to eat it for a charity.
I've done things like that before.
Really?
I've eaten sushi before at a charity event, and
yeah.
I don't like sushi.
Don't go
because
for it, huh?
I don't want anyone to think I'm rude or anything like that. But it's for charity.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done worse things.
It's when you look at him and go, "Where's the sake?"
To wash it down.
Wash it down. There you go.
When I saw it, I went, "Oh gosh, no, I don't want to eat that." And I thought, "Oh my gosh, people think I'm really, really rude."
See, I can do like the California roll and the Philadelphia thing, but when you start putting on like the raw eel and that, I know I can't go for that.
Can't do. Thank goodness that's not a Christmas delicacy.
No.
So I won't be eating that at many parties, I don't think.
What do they eat for Christmas in London?
Well, in England
Or England, I should
do obviously turkey, beef joint is usually a big one, a beef roast that goes along with it. Yorkshire puddings, you have to have Yorkshire puddings with lashings of gravy and mashed potatoes, roast potatoes. I love mashed carrots and turnip together.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, and roasted parsnips.
Okay.
Oh yeah, stuffing bowls, not like the stuff in here.
Okay. Quick description of this.
Little English sausages wrapped in bacon.
Ooh.
What else do we do? That bread sauce. Have you ever heard of bread sauce?
No.
Oh my gosh, onion sauce. Oh my goodness, amazing. And then dessert is going to be mince pies. It's going to be Christmas pudding, rich with lots of brandy in it. Trifle with sherry in it. Mince pies with brandy in it.
So in other words, all you Brits over there fill your stomach real good and get loaded after you're done.
Completely loaded.
That's a good thing. All right.
Christmas cake. Would you have a Christmas cake?
What's got in it?
It's a heavy fruit cake, but it's no. I think my sister puts alcohol in hers, and I want to say it's brandy as well. I think that's what goes in hers
So
as
did
well.
you go over and say the Scots and get some Scotch off of them?
Tia Maria. I think she put Tia Maria in hers.
okay.
She makes it over a period of weeks.
Wow.
Where she bakes the cake. It's heavy fruit. It's not dry. It's really moist. And then what she does is she pokes holes in it and she pours Tia Maria in it like every day. weighs a ton. And then you have the marzipan on the top, and then you have the royal icing. Amazing. It's a heavy cake, but you don't eat big chunks of that, And then we have to have our...
As much liquor she's putting in, I would say you don't eat big chunks of it.
And then we have to do Quality Street, which is chocolates, basically.
Okay.
Chocolates and after 8 mints. We have to do them with the coffee, with the brandy in the coffee.
So in other words, when you go to the holidays to your house, the first requirement is that everybody gives their car keys
up
at the front door, right?
Take your shoes off because you're going to be there a while.
Okay, well.
You're going to be there a while.
See, I grew up, I had Italian on my mother's side, and then, part Indian and German and everything else on my father's side. So it was great for me at Thanksgiving and Christmas because we not only got traditional American turkey, ham, roast beef, whatever.
Yeah.
We got the full Italian, too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, stuffed shells and manicotti. I mean, my grandmother made them, not just buy them out of the package frozen, throw them in the hot water or whatever. I mean, it really did it. Cut the pasta, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, it's nice.
And it was unbelievable. So Thanksgiving and Christmas was unbelievable. Half the table was like American style, and the other half of the table. Nobody ever sat at the table because there was so much food.
It was just fill the table with food and go grab what you need.
Remember the old TV trays? You had TV trays, and the kids sit on floor with like little plastic mats and stuff. I'm not kidding you.
I love it.
Because the table was so packed full of food.
It's lovely until you keep all the traditions from all your different families, different cultures, and mix it all together. I think it's fantastic.
My grandmother would cook sauce for like 3 days.
Oh wow!
I mean, it would sit and simmer for like 3 days.
Wow! But you can smell it right now,
gosh.
can't you? Right. Well, we're going to talk about Christmas and food and pets all around these celebrations. Before we actually get started, I'm going to tell you how you're going to find us on the internet. So our website is VegasRockDogRadio.com, and Google Plus, you'll find me as Sam Ratcliffe. So I thought I'd start with my tip of the week because it's kind of what I'm having to do right now at my house. I haven't had neighbours for a long time. The house was up for sale for a very, very long time, which I loved. Nobody coming in and out. It was fantastic. My dogs were quiet. They'll bark at the FedEx guy and the UPS guy, but for the most part, they are fairly quiet, I would say. But since then, the house is sold and a family moved in. I kind of was holding my breath. I wasn't sure who we were going to get. So I was like, I hope it's not anyone that hates dogs or, that kind of thing. I'm not a big kid person, only because I don't want a lot of noise more than anything. Anyway, they've got 3 kids. So they got 3 kids, but a couple of them are homeschooled, so they are a lot. And it didn't help much that I was waiting on new curtain rods and curtains, and I didn't have any covers for the windows that my dogs got to see every little move that poor family made moving in. And it was just a bark fest for days. I mean, for days on end. It's not like I could close the curtains and at least, hide them. So we've got a bit of a bark fest going on. As I say, I'm not used to having anyone next door. It's been for a really, really long time. So I don't want my dogs to disturb other people either. I don't want to hear it. And it triggers. We have a lot of dogs where we live, and so when one dog barks, the whole neighborhood starts. So I don't want my dogs to be the instigators of all of that. So this is what I'm working with them this week. It's quite interesting. You're going to think I'm nuts when I tell you about this, but I follow Victoria Stilwell. You've probably seen her on TV. She's British, and the show, I think, used to be called It's Me or the Dog. I don't know if she kept the name, but her website is called positively.com. She wholeheartedly trains dogs in a positive manner, and I really do like her website. Lots of great tips, but I pulled one from her website this morning, and it's the title was, "Can I tell my dog to stop barking?" You can, but it depends whether they're going to respond or not. So the biggest mistake that people make, I think it's mainly just out of frustration than anything else, is you shout at your dogs to stop barking, which basically makes it worse. They think you're barking too, and it increases the barking level, and and your dog probably thinks you're joining in. It's a fun game. Let's all bark together. So avoid trying to shout, "Stop barking" at your dog. Instead, you're going to teach your barking dog to stop barking by teaching her to bark. This is where you're going to think I'm crazy. It's kind of a reverse psychology. You're actually going to teach them what it is to bark and what it is to not bark. So basically, here are the tips. And of course, you're going to have to do this daily, and it'll all sink in, and it does work. I've seen it done many, many times. My friend Laura Nativo, she's another trainer. You may have seen her on Home and Family on the Hallmark Channel. I want to say it's the Hallmark Channel. I hope it is. She was on the show, and she was teaching. She calls it Speak. So you can call it speak or bark, whichever word they respond to more than anything. So when your dog is in the act of barking, give your dog plenty of praise, and you can use a verbal cue such as bark or speak, along with a hand signal that your dog can associate with the barking. And you're going to encourage the barking. So you're going to actually say, yay, this is a good thing. The barking's a good thing. This is the word we're going to use. It's bark or speak. And you're going to use a hand signal so they recognize that too. And that can be whatever you want it to be. So when your dog starts to understand the barking, what the barking signals mean, you're going to begin to use the signal and voice cue to encourage her to bark. So change your way of thinking. Instead of going, I'm going to try and stop this, you're actually going to encourage this so that the dog recognizes what this is that they're doing. So obviously you're going to have to practice that a lot. So whenever, and you've got to be quick with this, whenever your dog's bark on its own, you're going to give even more praise a vocal cue such as quiet. Well, usually quiet is the best one, because it's kind of universal, along with a hand signal. So she understands what quiet means as well. And it cannot be the same signal as you had for bark, of course. So you can have a different word for speak and bark, and a hand signal that goes along with it. And then you can have one for quiet and a hand signal that goes along with that. So they get to understand that it's good when I do that. Yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to continue to build up the quiet cue and signal anytime your dog stops barking. So you've got to be quick with that praise and that no. And just tons and tons of praise. Our dogs really respond really well to positive training. Now, when both of your cues become very, very, very strong, then you can start to encourage barking on cue and to stop barking, which is quiet, on cue as well. So they become commands, essentially. So your dog eventually will think, oh, I only bark when she says bark, or I only bark when she says speak. So that's where it comes in, yeah? So what you're going to do is you're going to be able to stop your barking on cue, and you're going to be able to encourage, through this. I mean, of course, very, very positive training. I mean, really, really important. But you'll be able to stop the barking on cue, and it's a powerful training technique to discourage barking behavior. So think about coming from a positive angle, because it is annoying, which is not very positive, but you're not getting anywhere by screaming, stop barking, which I have done. Of course I have. Or get down, because they always climb on the back of the couch to see the kids next door. So that's a really, really interesting technique, reverse psychology. And both training things are positive for the barking and being quiet, and eventually be able to do it on you, so that when they are barking, you can then do the quiet and see what happens. There you go. Oh, my computer just went to sleep. That's interesting. So it's my tip of the week. I'm going to post this one on the website because it's very different. And people, I might think I'm nuts when I first mentioned this, but it does work. I've seen it in action, and it's quite impressive. And it can work for many things. If you're out in public, you're at a coffee shop, and the barking starts, you can do the quiet, and it would just help you in many, many areas with you and your pets. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's take a quick break, because when we come back, we're going to talk about all this great holiday stuff for our pets, and lots of tips and some fun stuff about some companies who help animals through your purchases. We're going to be right back. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome! Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
There's nothing more delicious and healthy than an old family recipe. And for over 50 years, our family's been creating them especially for your pets. Nutrisource Super Premium Pet Foods. Dog and cat food that's all natural, holistic, and organic. Nutrisource Pet Foods contain our patented Good for Life system for your pet's optimum health and well-being. So order now. Safe quality food made by our family for your furry family members. Go to NutrisourcePetFoods.com.
From our family to yours, KLN Family Brands.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Now, let's return to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Here again, your host, the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
Okay, and we're back. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And we are now moving on to the holidays and your pets. And these tips, although you might think they're a little bit of effort, they will be worth the effort, most definitely, when it comes to the safety of your pets. So the first thing, and we've been talking about this already, is holiday food. And one Christmas in England, though, my sister did make that spectacular Christmas cake with all the alcohol in it. And one of my sister's dogs, Jem, decided she'd eat as much of the cake as she could. Luckily, she was fine. But she's the kind of dog that if you blink, she'll take your food out of your mouth. So she's one dog that you really have to pay attention to. Whereas my dogs, there's never any food left out on the counter, so they never have a reason to jump up, ever. But I do have to be careful if I go to other people's houses, which has happened to me in the past, where Galaxy stole a whole rack of ribs and hid in a corner to eat them. So you do have to be very, very careful of these kind of things. So it's a great time of year, as you're saying, because people are celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah. You've got all your New Year's Eve parties, all your lovely dinners and all the celebrations that go along with it. But it's not always that fun for your pets. And so I think really giving them some consideration at this time of year is really important, because we're so distracted with so many other things. But here are some pets for keeping some tips. Some tips for keeping your pets out of danger. So we've talked a lot about alcohol. You've seen those videos as people give beer to their dogs and video. It's just one of the worst things they could ever do. I mean, they want to kill their pets. So what you want to do is make sure that your pets cannot reach any alcoholic beverages. And if you've got people coming over to the house, let them know, please don't put your on the floor where my pets can access them. And sometimes you do have to tell people that if they don't have pets of their own, it's probably not going to think about if they come to your house. Chocolates, gosh, who doesn't get chocolate at this time of year? It is highly toxic to pets. The darker the chocolate, the more dangerous it's going to be. And there's a formula that goes along with how toxic it's going to be to pets. Here's my thing. If pet's eating chocolate, just go straight to the vet. Don't take the risk. But generally, I think it's 1 chocolate for every pound of its body weight. And so, if you've got a 6-pound dog and it ate 6 ounces, in big trouble, because it can be fatal. So keep your chocolates away from your pets, and keep your alcoholic beverages away. Coffee and tea, again, are dangerous for pets as well. Salt is dangerous, and chicken or turkey bones. They can splinter, especially when they've been cooked. So you want to completely make sure your countertop nice and safe. Baby gate's a wonderful thing at this time of year. If you're cooking, you're in the kitchen, put a baby gate up. They will just really help avoid a lot of problems. Please avoid giving your pets any leftovers, like diarrhea, and who needs that, upset stomachs. And people at this time of year kind of slip a little bit, like, oh, but I'm really treating them. But in all honesty, you might feel about doing it, but your dog's not, or cat's not going to feel better that they got diarrhea from leftovers they gave. So it's not such a treat at that point. Unless it's away from cooked bones, they can splinter, they can get lodged in your pet's throat, or they can cause very serious damage by puncture intestinal tract. And that's one thing you can definitely avoid. So really, it's got people coming over and you've got food and drinks. Here's the best thing. Put your pets in their own room and give them their favorite toys and make them comfortable. Put some music on for them and, make sure that they're nice and safe, because here's another thing you've got to be careful of as well is, strangers coming in the house, noise. they're all big factors that really can upset your pets. Now, here we go. Christmas decorations. Oh, this is a big one. This is a really big one. I haven't had a live tree. I don't even think I've ever had a live tree, in all honesty, because live trees are quite dangerous to pets. If you choose to have a live tree, you've got to clean up those fallen Christmas tree needles all the time, basically. They're very, very sharp. They get stuck in your pet's paws or their throat, because, you know, pets are very inquisitive. So sweep them up. Or I've seen this week, which I love, particularly people with cats, where I had a friend who said, look, my cat is plotting how they're going to, jump on top of that Christmas tree. And they've actually put a barrier around the tree, or they've actually elevated the tree onto a table. But cats can still get there, but it's a little bit easier to prevent dogs from jumping up with those kind of things. But here's the thing. Maybe you should just fake it. So you can buy a fake tree and eliminate some of those problems. And no, they're not exactly the same. They're not exactly the same. But you can get that fake fir tree smell anyway and spray it on them. Tinsel and those shredded icicle things, they are very, very dangerous to your pets. So once I got pets, all that had to go away. I donated what I had. And again, once they're ingested, they are super dangerous to your cats and your dog. We talked about chocolate earlier, but a lot of people get those little chocolate ornaments and hang them on their tree. I don't know if it's a British thing. I don't think I've seen it here. I'm not sure, but that's something that we do in England. And so that's another thing you want to eliminate, because, our pets have a amazing sense of smell, so they know when there's something delicious on the tree. And again, the chocolate's highly toxic, and your pets will certainly be tempted. Trust me, they're very tempted, and that's the last thing you need. And you just don't even need them jumping on a tree, in all honesty, to get anything. Popcorn strands is definitely an American thing. This is not something we do in England, but basically popcorn strands are very, very dangerous as well. And they can be quite amusing to a cat. So, yeah, you don't want your cat thinking they're toys, or that they can eat them. Now, I don't know about you, but my front garden, it has so many electrical cords with all the lights we put up. It's definitely something you need to consider, particularly indoors when we've got so many more lights and the trees going and, all of that kind of stuff. So cover up your electrical cords, and that's just going to prevent, particularly cats, they do like to chew on electrical cords, and you don't want them to get electrocuted. And just make sure when you leave the house, you actually turn them off. As beautiful as it looks, and you think, oh, that's nice for my pets while I'm gone, they can look at the tree. Turn your lights out. Really, really important on that tree. Because, flashing lights are really, really, it's like a disco to a cat, flashing lights. So you don't want to, tempt anything. No, any cat raves going on while you're away. So just unplug the lights of the Christmas tree. And, it can be a fire hazard anyway if you're not there. Flashing lights can either be really, really interesting, really scary, really scary. My little Thornton, she does not like flashing lights. She doesn't like my new oven either, by the way. So when I started cooking yesterday, she was shaking. And that comes from years ago when a fire smoke detector went off when I'm cooking something, and she associates the oven going on with the awful sound of the fire smoke detector. So poor little thing. But yeah, all those years later, she's still worried about that. But yeah, flashing lights can be exactly the same thing, quite traumatizing. So just see how your pets react, and if they are scared, then just don't use them. It's as simple as that. Christmas tree decorations, they can cause a lot of injuries or be fatal to your pets, and obviously your pets will have a heightened interest at this time of year because, wow, what is all this stuff and this sparkly stuff, and this is new, where did this show up, this big tree and all those things that we've got around the house. So think about where you're going to place a lot of your ornaments, and can they reach them? Are they breakable? I mean, I love the old-fashioned ornaments. We call them baubles, yeah? But they're made of glass, and, it's like you drop one, oh my gosh, everybody panics. You kind of stand there frozen and feel like, oh, where did all the little shards go? So go for the plastic, just to avoid all of that. But, these steps, it seems like a lot, but honestly, it's just so worth not having to call your vet over half of these things. Another thing is ribbons. They're dangerous too if they're swallowed. And make sure your tree is well anchored so your pet can't pull it over, like the cat in, what's the movie? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You don't need that situation, although the scene is hysterical. That's the last thing you need. So anchor that tree down, make it really, really secure. Now we're moving on to all those beautiful plants that we love. Holly, mistletoe, lilies, yew trees, poinsettias, they're all poisonous. And you got to keep them out of reach. And this is where you really should fake it. Get those. They look good. The fake plants look really, really good. And it's just not worth, your cat nibbling on a poinsettia. Then you ended up in the emergency vet. And this is something people forget a lot because they have a lot of people and kids coming over and parties and dinners and stuff, is that noise is quite horrible for pets, especially when it disrupts their normal routine. So you've got to avoid things like, I say put them in their own room. It just makes it so much easier. Christmas cracking, you grab each end, you pull it, it makes a big bang, and that's quite scary. Champagne bottles, those poppers, balloons, music, people laughing, fireworks, lower things, those whatever they call them, all really, really scary to your pets. So put your pets in a nice, comfy room in the house so that they don't have to be upset by any of those things. Now, of course, Christmas wrapping paper is super fun to pets, and especially since most of us are buying gifts for our pets anyway, we will be wrapping them. You can give them the fun of, trying to get in them, but once you've got into the toys and you've got into your own presents, just make sure you throw away all the wrapping paper, the string, and all that stuff from the... And say, when it comes to buying toys and gifts and stuff for your pets, just make sure that you get them from a really good manufacturer, because a lot of the pet toys are made in China and can be very toxic to pets. So if they're chewing on something that's toxic, that's just not a good situation. So really look out for where your pet's toys are made and try and go for non-toxic materials to make them really, really safe on that. That's something that people don't think about. You can pick up these balls and these chews and they are toxic. They're made out of terrible materials that are not good for our pets. And, of course, a peace in mind, you should always check with your local vet what their surgery hours are over the Christmas period, because some of them may adjust their hours and stuff. Make sure you got their number in hand, just in case you need it. But if you follow these steps, you shouldn't. And I was on the website, petsafe.com. They were saying that on an average emergency vet, around about this time of year, is about $1,600. And you'll have spent enough anyway during this season, so avoid that big expense. And as I say, most pet-related dangers are easy to avoid. And all you want to do is just have fun and remember just to be pet, be pet safe while you enjoy this season. So they're all my tips as far as the holidays and how you're going to celebrate and just avoid all those problems. So when we're going to take one more break, and then we're going to talk about some great companies that actually give back to pet-related causes. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes, listen to some words from our sponsors, and you're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. We'll be right back.
Your dog loves going for a walk, but what do you do when the weather just won't cooperate? Your canine companion shouldn't have to come home cold, wet, and uncomfortable. Zippy Dynamics has created a chic, revolutionary, and functional suit that covers your best friend from head to toe. Our apparel is stylish and remarkably protective against all weather.
You and your dog deserve the best, and Zippy Dynamics is here to provide. Visit zippydynamics.com now and receive free shipping on all orders for a limited time. Zippy Dynamics, clothing of a different breed.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com, the latest fashion trends for our furry friends. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered Tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit DesignerPetSweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. DesignerPetSweaters.com.
Hi, this is Tim Link, host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Join me as we feature interviews with best-selling pet-related authors, award-winning writers, journalists, and bloggers. And we'll tell stories about the animals and interesting topics about the animals in our lives. Each of the interviews will give you a first-hand knowledge about why the authors and writers chose a particular story, what the featured animals meant to them, and what has become of those animals that we've talked about. And of course, I'll also share stories from my own books, blogs, articles, and experiences. So be sure to join me and the writers and authors on animal rights.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio continues. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, here again, your host, Sam.
And we're back in Las Vegas Rock Radio with me, your host, Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs. And I'm live from Las Vegas. And, our fog lifted finally, didn't it? We don't really get fog, but other than getting fog on people drive.
The sun's back.
The sun is back. I tell you something, we're so spoiled right now. This weather's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we don't really need a coat, in all honesty. But, no, it's great weather, isn't it?
Yes. I love it here.
Can't beat it. So, previously on the segment before, we talked about pet safety during this fantastic season of celebrations. All of these links are going to go up on our Facebook page at Vegas Rock Dog Radio, so you can hop over there and scan through and see what applies to you, and maybe you're doing all those things, and maybe a couple of new ones for you. It's worth the steps, absolutely worth the steps. It takes a lot of stress out of it too, because I'm one of those people, I just get stressed out when people come to my house, because first of all, my dogs don't really like anyone coming over to the house, but I don't know, it's just a lot to consider, you know. Anyway, before we actually talk about some of these amazing companies that give back to animal causes, just wanted to do a quick update on, well, not an update, but basically why pets are not gifts at this time of year. They just don't make good presents this time of year. So try not to be tempted. I know you'll get a bit mushy at this time of year. And, my kid would just love it. There's, when you're buying a pet, you're buying the pet. You're not buying a pet for your child. You are buying the pet for you, because you will ultimately be looking after the pet. Despite how much your children cry and tell you they promise they'll pick up the poop and they'll walk the dog, and they never do. And you would be foolish to think to be suckered in by those little kids, their promises. So remember, when you're buying when you're getting a pet, you're getting a pet for yourself. It's a tough time of year. It's a very disruptive time of the year, with noise, people, stress, added dangers, and your routine normally just goes out of the window, which routine is very important when you get pets, particularly when you get young pets. So if you're going to consider getting a pet, use this time of year as a way to teach your kids and yourself about ownership. You can pick up a great book. It can be part of the excitement of getting a pet, where you're prepared. Most people don't prepare themselves, but it is worth preparing. And it can just be something exciting. I mean, you can give your kids the book for Christmas and say, hey, this means that we get to learn about owning a pet, and we'll get a pet in the new year. So I think it's just a good time to do that, and then actually look for your pet after, everything's packed away, and you can start fresh with a new furry family member, and it'll be less chaotic as well. So yeah, don't do anything on impulse. It's just not worth it. Okay, so I wanted to research some companies that give back through your business, and I found some fantastic companies that do all kinds of things. And so, as we're all in the throes of buying gifts for family and friends, I wanted to let you know who these fantastic companies were. Now, the first one, and I followed this company for a long time, is Hendrix Boards. And Hendrix Boards, I think they were surfers. I think the co-owners are surfers. And they help the worst of the worst animal abuse cases through their products. So they will feature, and to me, the cases are terrible. Really, eat rat, particular dog, cat, whatever animal they bring in. And what they do is they donate $10 from every purchase to the animals that they feature on their website. That's hendrixboards.com. And today they donated over $500,000, which is spectacular. Their tagline is "One shirt saved one animal, and that's a great company. Another one is Rocking for Rescues. This is our local company and a very new company, new as in products, but been around for a while, raising money for animal rescue. And Rocking for Rescues, their website is rockingforrescues.com. They help rescues and individual cases through the sales of their products also, and a donation is paid from every single one of your purchases. And that's our lovely friend Pam and her 3 dogs, Meta, Ceci, and Shrimpy Doodle, who do the work over there. You should check out what their job descriptions are on the website. They've got very serious jobs over there, those 3 dogs. So that's Rocking for Rescues. They're local. Bark Box is a monthly gift box subscription for your pet. Each month you get a box full of toys and treats, and they are partnered with many shelters, and they give back 10% of your purchases to their partnered shelters. So that is barkbox.com. This, I know a lot of my friends will like. One Hope Wine, and they are supporting the American Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, ASPCA, and they donate half, that is 50% of their profits from each bottle of wine to animals in need across the country. They have a Pinot Paws wine gift box, and they have one for cat lovers and they have one for dog lovers, and it includes wine and toys for your specific pet. So I just loved this, these gift boxes, and that is onehopewine.com. Lush Cosmetics, as we know, they are cruelty free, and they created a thing called the Charity Pot, and it's a hand and body lotion in order to raise money for charities and other good causes. And every penny you pay, except for the tax, goes to helping very carefully selected groups that they work with. Now, they do human charities, but they do a lot of animal charities. I know they support Beagle Freedom Project. So that's lush.com. Dog for Dog. Dog for Dog. If you buy one of their bags of treats or food, they'll donate an equal bag to a dog in need. Last year, they donated £52,000 of food. So what we want you to do is fill your dog's stocking or your friend's stocking and fill one for a homeless pet. You can find their products at pet stores nationwide and on their site, dogfordog.com. Love that one. Play Pet Lifestyle, and they ask you, does your dog need a new bed for the holiday season? And they have some incredible beds that your pup is sure to love. And as part of their Warm Bellies initiative with Pet Finder, for every bed purchase, they donate a comfortable mat to an animal shelter. It's a perfect gift that gives back. And I love that. And that's www.petpay.com. And my last one is the Animal Rescue site. They've been around forever. And they do wonderful work, and they're known for having really great gifts and giving back to animals in need. There's a lot on their website. You can find practically anything on there for anyone that's on your list, whether they're got 2 legs, 3 legs, 4 legs. they'll have something for you. And what they tell you how much your purchase funds in dog food. So, for example, they'll say the purchase of your necklace funds 14 bowls of pet food. So I really, really love that site. It's the Animal Rescue site .greatergood.com, or just the Animal Rescue site, and you'll find that there. I just thought these were just a lot of different things that you can do that give back. And since we're shopping, why don't we shop and give back at the same time? I just love that. I think it's brilliant. So all those links will go up on our Facebook page, Vegas Rock Dog Radio. And if you haven't finished your shopping, I suggest you go over to those lovely companies that love animals. Now, we've still got our giveaway going on. We've got 2 giveaways going on the blog. So you can go to the rockandrolldog.com. And our first giveaway, by Rocking for Rescues, and they're giving away a swag bag with a tank top, a drink koozie, wristband, sticker, and a magnet for your car. And what you're going to do is you're going to go over to the rockandrolldog.com. You're going to find the Rocking for Rescues giveaway and just follow what we tell you to do. So if you're on Facebook, we're posting it on Facebook too, which is like, comment, share the post. Twitter, it's retweet, to make sure you like Rocking for Rescues across the board, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're on all platforms for that one. And tomorrow, it'll close tomorrow night, so make sure you hop on that. And our other one, and again, it's going on this giveaway at our blog, therockandrolldog.com, is the Winter Warmers broth from the Honest Kitchen. It's a pack of 3 flavors, and basically it's like a little soupy broth, and it's a warm treat for your cats or dogs. And all you do is simply add water, hot water, make it, wait for it to cool down while your pets, because it smells amazing, and just watch your pets lap it up. And the giveaway is a kit of 3. And again, therockandrolldog.com. It's very simple. You can either just make a comment on the blog and then you're entered, or if we've posted it on Facebook, you like, comment, share. If you're on Twitter, retweet. And if you're on Instagram, you just make a comment. Really easy. You don't have to do all of those things. You just pick one. So that's 2 fabulous giveaways that close tomorrow night, midnight, over on the rockandrolldog.com. So I wanted to say my blog of the week was petsafe.com. They actually have a lot of really good information on there for pet safety and some good pet product. And then I need to do a big shout out to the people that have currently donated to my Bailey Chairs for Dogs fundraiser that's online, and it's still ongoing. This is for dogs that are suffering with megaesophagus, and in very basic terms, the dogs don't have an ability to swallow. And so the symptoms from not being able to swallow food and water are regurgitation of water or food, or just throwing up without any warning whatsoever. Thanks, Mike. Or retching. They lose their appetite, they refuse to eat, they have sudden weight loss, and I say difficulty swallowing, or very exaggerated or frequent swallowing. They also try to clear their throat with like a hacking sound. They can have really terrible smelling breath, and many canines maybe misdiagnosed with a gastrointestinal problem, and really it's something completely different. And they can get pneumonia from this and lots of complications. So I want to thank the following people who have currently donated, and that is Sandy Dillion of ID Tagged here in town, and you can pick up great dog tags from Sandy. Also to Pam Webb and her 3 dogs at rockingforrescue.com. Donna Hall, great friend of mine, a great friend to animals here in town. Melissa Tabari of Comp Radio, you may know Mel. She loves animals. Dawn Tour of Lacquered Up Nail Lounge, my best friend. And Sylvia Nellis, I hope I pronounced it right, Laurie Dunn, and Shirley Becerra for their donations and support. It's ongoing, so you can go to gofundme.com/Bailey Chairs and make a donation. And I thank you for that, because we will be getting a couple of chairs made for 2 dogs in need who are suffering with megaesophagus. So thank you very much for that. So, how many minutes we got, Mike? Like 3? Oh, and for once I don't have to go a million miles an hour. That's amazing. So check out our website, check out our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff. Enter the giveaways. I mean, we need more people to enter those giveaways. Trust me, I don't think people enter them enough, and the chances are good to win these prizes. And follow us on our Facebook page so you can get the updates about the show. As you know, what we like to say at the end of this show, and it's really, really important, is you can help a pet in need. You can either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, share your time, share their information. There's a lot you can do when it comes to helping animals. Rescue your next family member, and replace the word shop with adopt whenever you can, and be kind to all animals. It's not just we're not just about cats and dogs here. It's monkeys, it's dolphins, it's tigers, you name it. And we're going to be talking about tigers in an upcoming show. I want to thank Mike for being my pal today.
Thank you, Sam.
Mike's controlling the whole studio and the board and everything, and I'm really thrilled that he's going to be looking for another dog. So you got that lovely presence at home, you know.
White lab. Anybody's got one coming, let us know. Call Sam.
We're gonna look out for Mike. We're gonna find him the perfect dog. Take a moment to say like our pages and Twitter and etc. And if you can make a donation to your local rescue today, or just thank a volunteer, it would be most respected and certainly appreciated. And that's it, basically, for our show today. You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it's all about pets, people, and pop culture. And I'm your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. Remember, always kiss your pets good morning and good night. And we want you to have a wonderful weekend and enjoy this season, because it only comes once a year. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you next week.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.